Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we are looking at the Soft Top Convertible Hood and the hood frame envelope cover for the XK150 drop head coupe. So that's the DHC models. So this kind of follows on from an earlier headliner video that I did for the same car. So please reference back to that video if you haven't seen it, and apologies for repeating a bit of information if you have seen it. But basically on the drop heads, unlike the open two-seater Roadsters, the soft top had a headliner underneath it, whereas the Roadsters did not. It was literally exposed hood frame metalwork down to the interior trim. So just to go briefly over it, here we've got a Roadster, an open two-seater, and you can see this is literally the backing, i.e. the underside of the soft top convertible hood, and you can see all the exposed metalwork, etc., of the framework effectively. Whereas the drop head coupe, the one that we're actually looking at now, it had this headliner kit, and you had the headliner kit, and then sandwiched in between the headliner and the soft top convertible hood you had the padding wadding kit. See my earlier video for that. So just to clarify, this is the drop head. The drop head's quite significantly different to the open two-seater Roadster in terms of the soft top, in terms of it was made a lot taller at the back. You can see in this photo here, it was a lot higher than the Roadster. The Roadster sat fairly sort of angled low down, and the window was also made significantly sort of taller as well. That's to accommodate, obviously in the drop head you effectively had these two small tractor seats in the back of the car, so it's to give a bit more luxury and head height in that specific area, so just bear that in mind. That being said, let's dive on in. So we've got two items here. You've got the soft top convertible, which is these three bits of material here, and then you've got the hood frame envelope cover, or boot cover as American cousins sometimes refer to it. The boot cover, let's start with that. It's Mohair, deluxe Mohair canvas, as per original spec for these, and it's got reinforcing padding going around the sort of perimeter, and that's to make it sit up like that effectively. The reason being, when it was in the car, the hood frames on these cars were quite bulky, so you fold it down and you want this deep cavity basically for it to sit inside there. So it's Mohair, it's got the correct piping and French seam top stitching, and the tabs are fitting it down. We go onto the bed. We also supply all the fixings loose, including the pre-formed brackets that are used to clip underneath onto the bodywork of the car. Let's just show you the underside of it. So you can see the majority of it is just the exposed, obviously, backing of the Mohair there. Like I say, around the perimeter you had this reinforced section to give it rigidity, to allow the frame to sit nicely underneath it. Moving on to the actual soft top convertible, so it's effectively in two main pieces. You've got the sort of main section there, which has an opening. This is where the chrome work sits from left to right, and then this opening here, which is edged, which is where the window sits inside. Now the window on these cars, as you can see, with the zip out window there, and the backing of the window material does have the headliner material sewn into it. So what we tend to recommend with these sorts of things is, if you're ordering the soft top, it's worth considering the headliner at the same time, as well as sort of the rear light area panel, etc., as per in the last video, because there are elements of crossovers between materials, so it's nice to get them to tie in. So just looking at a bit more detail in the soft top, it's obviously effectively the normal sort of style of soft top, where it's a three panel, effectively the main section, and the two wing areas with the top stitch seams going from back to front on it. You obviously had these wing sections here with the reinforcing going around and the top stitch detailing, and elements of binding. Not all the edges were bound around the B-post, they stopped the binding, then it carried on again up to the front, but then stopped at the front there. You get this piping rubber for finishing off as well. So it's a comprehensive kit. Fitting a soft top, as you'll have seen from previous videos and our website generally, it's not a particularly easy job, so definitely worth talking to us about. We can guide you through it. Showing the underside there, it's obviously got the beige backing on it, but the backing really doesn't matter because it is not exposed. It's got the headliner material, as I mentioned earlier. So just referring back to the books now that you've seen the product up close. So you've got effectively the bar section there, which goes in that slit there. This is actually, I believe, a roadster here, but the concept is almost identical in that particular area there. And then obviously the window sits in the obvious U-channel there, so there's a massive overlap effectively when it's all said and done in the car. So yeah, that's the soft top convertible and the hood frame cover for the XK150 Drophead Coupe. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.